It's the Bradford City v Newport County match reaction. Don't forget to tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. So it's the Bradford City v Newport County match reaction. I think just to quickly go over the game, it was a game that we controlled. I felt we had 56% possession, and I think that reflected the game. I think we're in control of it. In terms of shots, it was very even. I think we had 14, they had 13. I think the game as a whole, we were very passive. We were very well, I'm not going to say we're very tiki-taka, but that was the sort of game we were playing, possession based, building the game up slowly from the back, and we created some very good chances from it. So on that front, I think it was a good game. In terms of the possession wise, passing, and I think that were mainly because Elliot Watt were back in the team. I think his ball retention, the way he keeps the ball, the way he's sensible on it. You know, sometimes he does play a long ball over the top or does aim for a switch, and it don't always come off, and that can affect his passing accuracy with his stats and so on and so forth. But I think overall, you know, he controls the game, he dictates the game in the midfield, and it's something that can go under notice. But I think today, if you want to know why we kept the ball so much, I think it was because of the way the midfielders retained it, and if we couldn't see a way forward, we'd pass it back. And I think it were clever. Obviously we haven't come away with a win, but I think we can all say performance wise we were pretty good. I think some people will say, well, couldn't we have been a bit more on the front foot? Couldn't we have took more players on? Couldn't we have took more risks? Yeah, we probably could have, but this is the way Mark Hughes wants to play football. He wants to play possession based. He wants to play, he said in his press conferences that he wants to retain the ball better than what we have been doing under Derek Adams and under previous managers. And I like the way we keep the ball in the middle of the pitch, because it allows you to keep the ball better, keep passing the ball between your midfielders. And I think if we are to, you know, move the ball wider and get more crosses into a box that way, I do think we won't keep the ball as much, and it'll become more chaotic, which Mark Hughes did say that's how we've been playing. We've been playing very chaotic, very too chaotic in the way we've been playing our game, and it's not good enough, because that's why we haven't been getting the results or the performances to match how we've been playing. And I think as a fan base we have to get used to the possession based football, get used to passing it round the back slowly, and I think the players will have to get used to it too. I think sometimes we've been caught out doing it, and we've had to move the ball forward and then we've lost the ball. I think we've got to be a bit more focused. I think sometimes Bass has got the ball and Paudie O'Connor or Son Grant just move wider and make an option for him, and he's had to go forward. And I think that's something that we've got to probably drill into our players, that you've got to be moving deeper to get the ball, beyond the ball. If that's the way we want to, if that's the way Mark Hughes wants to play, that's the way we've got to accept it. And I think in his press conferences he's got to make that clear, that this is the way we're going to play. You're either on the board with it or you're not. We're going to be a bit more narrower. We won't be going down the wings as much. We might be reliant on our fullbacks to get the crosses into a box, and I think that's what we saw today. And I think these last 7 games of the season are games where you've got to be building for next season, the future under Mark Hughes, and you know, getting his players, getting to know the players, and getting to know the players that he might be taking into next season. But let's get into the player ratings. Alex Bass in goal today, I'd give him a 6 out of 10. He was pretty average. He made a good save at the end. At least I thought it was him who made the save off the line. But overall, I think his distribution could have been better, and maybe that would have been helped by the centre backs and Elliot Watt becoming a bit more deeper to get the ball and to help Alex Bass out when he's probably been a bit under pressure, and he's just hit it out wide or up front, and then we've lost the ball. So I think distribution could have been better, but overall he kept a clean sheet and he didn't do anything drastically wrong. at shot stopping. So on that front, I think it's got to be an average 6. Luke Hendry, another average 6. I think he was pretty. He was decent. He didn't do anything wrong. I think going forward, you do get a few good crosses into a box. It's a shame Andy Cook couldn't have been in the right place at the right time to get onto some of them. And yeah, going defensively, we know his vulnerabilities, but going forward, he's better than Velkeld. O'Connor and Song go 2-7s. I'm constantly giving these 2-7s because they're constantly rocks at the back. I think they both help each other out by the way they're different. I think Song goes a bit more on the front foot in his defending, where he will just throw himself at a challenge, whether it's a header that you could just hit away with your feet, or whether it's just he's just chaotic, but it works for him, and he's very good at being very chaotic in the box. I just worry that someday he'll miss the ball and go in on a player, and that's my worry with Songo and them challenges. But another steady game from Songo and Paddy O'Connor, and the two players who we must keep going forward. And I don't think we will. I think Songo probably will stay next season. I don't think Paddy O'Connor will. I think he's too good for us. But yeah, if we could keep them two, they are players who, you know, will go towards the future of this club, hopefully. Matty Folds, another average 6. I think going forward, he ain't that great. He put a couple of crosses in that were either too deep or were too they didn't really stretch into the box, or were too outside of the box and didn't really get into 6-yard box. So I think going forward, Matty Folds wasn't that great today, and defensively he's pretty solid sometimes. So I'd give him an average 6. He was okay. Elliot Watt 7. I think he was good. I think he was pivotal to the way we were playing. I think when the contrasting performance when Gareth Evans were in that position and Elliot Watt shows how much an important player, Elliot Watt is in this team, where he'll control the ball, keep the ball, and we play off that. And I think he's very important to the way we play, and I think that's why he's got a 7 today, because he keeps the ball well, and obviously Mark Hughes wants him to be that type of player in that position. So yeah, Callum Cook a 6. I think he struggled to get in the game today. I think he didn't have the ball in that number 10 area as much as he would have liked to create the chances for Andy Cook, and to create chances for the wide players to get in the game. And I just think it was one of the poor performances this season we've seen from Callum Cook. We don't see many, but this was one of them where he just couldn't get into the game. And yeah, he was coming too deep, and then when we had the ball towards that number 10 position, he wasn't there because we were too deep and trying to get on the ball. So I think we were trying too hard today, Callum Cook, to create a presence in the team. Alex Gilliard, I'm giving him an average 6. I think he had an average game. You know, tried to get round his man a couple of times, played some good good passes in the midfield, but you know, he just lacks that little thing. And yeah, that were just missing with Alex Gilliard today. But I'll give him a 6. He was nothing worse, nothing better than a 6. Gareth Evans, I'm going to be generous in giving him a 6. I don't think he was in the game that much today, and I do think when you saw the substitutions of Vernon and Pereira, you saw how much Gareth Evans and Callum Cook weren't in the game, because they came on instantly, just got the stadium rocking, and got everyone on the edge of the seats, just creating chances for Andy Cook and just taking it round players. And Gareth Evans wasn't doing that today, and I think he's very lucky to not give him a below average, because he wasn't in the game and he was floating around. But you know, he does give effort, and for that reason I'm giving him a 6. And yeah, it's a very generous 6. Jamie Walker, another player it's pretty generous to give a 6. He wasn't in the game when he was playing. He struggled to get chances. Then the one killer chance he got, he just went for power instead of accuracy. It was a poor chance that he should have took better. It was straight keeper, he went for power. Like I said, accuracy was the option he should have took there, and he should have, well, really, he should have gone for power and get it in that bottom corner. And it's 1-0 to City, and we're going home happy. But you know, it's tough for Jamie Walker, just coming back from injury, straight into a team after a couple of games off the bench. But yeah, he had that really good chance that he didn't take, unfortunately for him. He'll be looking at that chance and, you know, praying, can I get it again? Andy Cook, another player that's going to be a generous 6 to. I'm just feeling positive, so I'm giving them 6s when they probably should be below average 5s. Yeah, he puts effort in, but he don't suit the system. I don't think he suits the way Mark Hughes wants to play. I think we need a quick striker who can press the centre backs quickly, get in behind their defence, and cause havoc for those centre halves of the League Two football clubs who will be playing against. And I don't think Andy Cook does that. He don't have that pace. He don't have that. He don't have that pace, and he ain't good on the ball. He's good at holding the ball up, as we know. He's good in the air, and he causes chaos for defenders when he gets close to them. But pace-wise, it ain't there. And I think a Lee Angol up front for us would be a much better option than Andy Cook. Unfortunately for him, I just don't think he has that pace to cause defenders that problem that we need. Or even a false 9. I think, you know, maybe a Jamie Walker playing as that creative striker, causing dropping deep and passing the ball around in the midfield and then getting in the box would probably be a better option than Andy Cook at the minute, because I don't think he suits the way Mark Hughes wants to play, unfortunately. Pereira 7, I think he was really good coming off the bench, caused problems for that defence, and I was thinking, God, have we got him from Barcelona? Because he were doing flicks, turns, meg-nutting the defenders, he were doing all sorts. And yeah, he were different gravy today when he came on Pereira, and you saw the difference of Pereira and Evans. And I think the one thing with Pereira that stands out more than anyone in this team is movement. You watch him and he's just zigzagging all over the place. He's just moving constantly on the run, looking for the ball, looking to get him behind, and he's just honestly a massive problem for these defenders. And he's a real threat for us. And it'd be brilliant if we could get him next season, but I think he'll probably end up going out on loan to a League One club, or maybe starting for Luton in the Championship. But yeah, real player, that Pereira. But the problem is injury prone. Is he injury prone? And I think that probably is the long-term problem for Pereira and his footballing career. Vernon, I'm going to give him a 6, very much like Pereira's performance, but he just didn't do enough to get that good performance. But I think Vernon, Pereira, they will cause problems for every team in League Two if they keep playing the way they're playing. You know, just taking players on, not being scared of being tackled, and they just play with such confidence. They're just a joy to watch, both of them. And you know, there'd be a real threat if we could get them fit week in, week out, and keep them at the club next season. I think we've got to try and build a team around Paddy O'Connor, Songo, Vernon, Pereira, Elliot Watt. They're the key players who we have to keep, build a team around, and get players Mark Hughes wants in that team to take us to that next level into League One. And Lavery, I'm going to give him an average 6. He wasn't on long enough to create a problem for Newport County, and it's a shame he didn't get given much time to try and create anything positive for us. But that's the end of the match reaction. It were poor. It wasn't a poor game. It were really good performance again. We keep saying it, good performance. Can we kick on? But we can't, and that is the sad reality. But we are looking forward to next season. We just want to skip to June and get some signings in the club, see how Mark Hughes is going to use that transfer market, and just see where next season will take us. Obviously, we probably know we're going to be the favourite. We could go in with the worst squad in the league, but we'd be the favourites to win it, because we always are the favourites to go up, which is annoying because being favourites isn't always the best thing. Have a good one.